Expo unveils under 100K price tag buckler Supersonic drone Interceptor. The company says its surface-to-air missile can defeat Shahed-like drones from Iran at a fraction of the cost of many missiles and rockets currently in service. This is from the Warzone website, so all credit to them. And you are watching Everything Weapons. Subscribe if you guys are new. Smash the like button, and let's get right into this current military news. So Expo Systems, a company that made its name making solid rocket motors and small space launch vehicles, has unveiled a new low-cost drone interceptor named Buckler. The interceptor promises high speed and a unit cost of less than 100K, less than $100,000, a price point that has only been approached by drone-like systems, not modern supersonic missiles. The Buckler, named after a small shield of the medieval and Renaissance eras, is designed to defeat Group 3 drones. Under the US military categorization system, Group 3 is a very broad middle tier of drones that covers designs that weigh anywhere from 56 all the way up to 1,320 pounds and can fly up to 18,000 feet high up at speeds of 250 knots or less. Iran's new infamous Shahed 136 drone, long-range one-way attack drone, variants and derivatives of which are now in service in Russia and with several Iranian-backed proxies, falls into the Group 3 category. While optimized for bringing down drones, the Buckler can also engage other aerial threats, including subsonic cruise missiles under certain conditions. This is especially relevant as newer Shahed-derived designs and many other long-range one-way attack munitions increasingly blur the line between drones and low-end cruise missiles through the adoption of jet propulsion and higher altitude flight profiles. Then there is the emerging group of low-cost cruise missiles being adopted in the United States and potential adversaries, as well as existing, more advanced types. Low-flying aircraft and helicopters would also likely be on the menu for this missile, even as a secondary capability. The high speed of the missile also means that a single Buckler battery can engage targets more rapidly and respond faster over a given range. It also makes it possible for follow-up shots to be taken if any effector misses within a given time frame. The Buckler is one of the growing number of responses to the increasing threat of drone and missile barrages, which are exposing the limits of legacy air defense models. In conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine, most notably, costly surface-to-air missile effectors are routinely expended in significant quantities against far cheaper incoming threats. So it costs a lot more money to have an anti-drone device than it is to have a one-way attack disposable exploding drone. Those are way easier to make, way cheaper, and that's why Iran has pursued the Shahed drones. They're super cheap, easy to make, very easy process, easy materials, and they basically overwhelm with stockpiles of these cheap drones. So, and it just makes sense that to have an anti-drone device, a drone that kills the drone, way more expensive, more costly, and the technology required is far more, right, to actually track down a target and make it explode. The U.S. military's concerning short-range air defense, or SHORAD, gap, especially as drone threats have continued to expand and evolve, is really not good for the United States. They're not as prepared, guys, as Ukraine and Iran. It's just true. So the Americans, what are we doing, guys? The United States has to get on it with drones. Doesn't help that we don't have real patriots in control, right? But anyways, Expo Systems recently notched a successful flight test for the Buckler, the company says, demonstrating its propulsion system and flight characteristics after completing motor, static fire, and igniter testing. Expo is entering one of the fastest growing segments of the defense industry. The company is already well established as a producer of solid rocket motors, and last year in 2020, 2025, they secured a $105 million investment from Lockheed Martin to expand production and provide propulsion systems and related services. The startup will now be hoping that the Buckler's eye-catching price point of less than $100K per copy will set apart amongst other drone interceptor competitors. By way of comparison, the combat-proven Raytheon Coyote in its Block 2 configuration, also primarily intended for counter-drone mission, has a unit price of around $100,000 based on past reports, and AeroVironment's Freedom Eagle 1, or FE1, which was the U.S. Army pick last year to provide an additional layer of defense against a longer range one-way attack drones and other similarly sized uncrewed aerial systems, or UASs, has a target unit cost between $150K and all the way up to $200K for the AeroVironment's weird-ass name. Anyways, these are also notably slower and less responsive systems than the Buckler newer one here. Toward the higher end of the scale, the cost of a Stinger short-range surface-to-air missile rocket launcher has historically been put at between $100,000 and all the way up to $120K, which is ridiculous. Video games make us think that they're not expensive, but it's like shooting a house. A rocket launcher, at least a Stinger that can take down most aircrafts, right? But reports in recent years have said that current generation versions, including ones optimized for use against drones, can run up to $400,000. In terms of more exquisite show-rad solutions, the U.S. Army's Enduring Shield is presently configured to fire AIM-9X sidewinders, each of which has a price tag of around $500,000, $500,000 for the AIM-9X missiles. As for the kinds of threats that these effectors are intended to destroy, Shahed-type drones from Iran are typically understood to have a unit cost range measured in tens of thousands of dollars compared to the giant whopping prices of missiles, $500K, $100K, even, 200K. All of these drones that are one-way attack, disposable, exploding, are way cheaper, only just shy of 10K, I think. The Buckler is also intended to bring benefits in terms of speed and scalability of production. This should ensure that production facilities are able to ramp up quickly and, in response to demand, be able to increase the output accordingly. Applying the vertical integration approach, the company says it can address the industrial base bottleneck defense leaders cite as the top constraint on scaling interceptors. Whether Buckler can deliver on its promised combination of performance, affordability, and production scale remains to be seen, but with militaries around the world and every country urgently seeking cheaper ways to counter drones and cruise missiles that are appearing in greater numbers as the war is gonna pop off here in a second with Iran, now that the Houthis, and there's a new theater of war with the Red Sea, which is crazy, blockade. Expo is entering the market at a particularly opportune moment, which is very true. Again, all credit to the Warzone website. That's where I was reading. If you guys learned something or enjoyed watching, please consider joining the Everything Weapons family. I still don't know what I'm going to call you guys. Type a comment down below of what my fan name should be. Everyone has it, right? I need a name for my viewers. EWs? No, that's lame as heck. That doesn't even make sense. Yeah, so type a comment if you have an idea of what the fans of the Everything Weapons YouTube channel and Rumble channel. Oh, that's another thing. I probably should say I have a Rumble as a backup in case YouTube terminates me. But yeah, I have a Rumble. Check it out in the link in the description box below this video, guys. Check out my Rumble. Make sure you follow me on there. Smash some likes and comments. And on YouTube here, at least, ring the bell if you don't miss a video I post. and check out my older content on the channel. Lots of videos already up on my channel that deserve love as well, guys. Thank you. See you in the next one.